Oh, hey, what's up, YouTube? Evan Starr here, and welcome to a very special live feed. I'm gonna have to fix a few things apparently because I don't know what's coming in for sound or what. So, hold on one moment. Let's change our microphone to phone 2. Okay, good. And let's play a test sound. Okay, let's test sound is good. All right, so. Once again, welcome to a very special impromptu episode of Play It Painted Live. So, as you can see, we're doing something a little bit different tonight because the camera is actually on my face. It's not something that I do very often, and I hope we're coming in nice and clear for everybody. Uh, Point of this is to do a little live feed because, well, a couple of things. One, um, I will not be here Tuesday. I'm actually on vacation now. I'm going to be going on a cruise with my whole family. So not just like my family, my wife and my kid, but like our entire family is going on a cruise. We're going to be down in Baja, Mexico for the entire week. So we're going to get on that boat tomorrow, and we'll be gone the entire week. If you guys follow me on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, I may have some photos or something going on early on in the process, but we probably will lose signal at some point. So there's that. Um, yeah. So anyway, so that's one reason I will be on vacation. The other reason is uh, this weekend we passed the 1,000 subscriber mark, and it's been a long climb, kind of a crawl to get to 1,000 subs. But either way, very excited about everyone's support, and just very grateful for that. So I figured, hey, let's just do a little live feed here now that we have broken that mark of 1,000 subscribers. Now, I will say this for having broke 1,000 subscribers. It's not so much that 1,000 subscribers is a lot for YouTube, because it really isn't, especially with the larger channels out there. But in the wargaming community, you maybe have, we'll say, a possible 100,000 subs. So 1,000 subs is really nothing, even within the small community that is the miniature wargaming community on YouTube. However, given the prevalence of GW and privateer press on YouTube, 1,000 subs is actually quite a bit. When you consider that there aren't a lot of channels, miniature wargaming channels, that don't heavily feature those two companies or games by those two companies, and then you got to figure that of those channels that don't, there aren't a lot of them breaking 1,000 subs. And me personally, I consider this a shame, and that's why I'm going to be holding the 1,000 sub contest that I am. So stay tuned for details for that. But anyway, before we get to it, it's time to do a little celebration here. And if you will bear with me for a moment here, we're going to give a brief lesson on one of my favorite topics that we have not discussed on this channel yet, and that is sake. Yes, one of my favorite hobbies, not related to miniature wargaming, although sometimes I do loop it in with the wargaming that I do, typically at conventions. And so sake is another one of the passions of mine. I'm a big sake drinker. We're bringing some sake on the boat tomorrow, and I'm going to have a little celebratory drink with you guys. So let's talk about sake for a moment, and if you guys will bear with me. Sake is a rice wine. It's often brewed similar to the way beer is. So the use of the term wine it's similar in that there's a fermentation involved. It uses rice instead of grapes. The alcohol content is about the same as wine, believe it or not. So people think when they're shooting sake that there's this incredible amount of alcohol that they're having. It really isn't. so much if you consider that, you know, most wines are somewhere in the, you know, say 11 to 15% alcohol content, and this one here is 15%. Sake also comes in a few different varieties. You have your straight unfiltered sakes. Your house sake is, for the most part, that's served hot, and that's what most people think of when they think sake, or what I guess what most people who aren't familiar with sakes think hot sake, and they think, you know, these tiny little cups, and they have it when they're having sushi, and then sake's fine. It's house sake, and you can drink all you want. It's great. But some people don't like the hot sakes. Some people like the cold sakes, and a lot of the more I guess the more experienced sake drinkers prefer cold sakes. I also prefer cold sakes. I will have a hot sake if we're having sushi or whatever, and I just want kind of my I guess that's more standard fare. But when I want to sip something nice, I'll have a cold sake. And cold sakes for me are where it's at. But again, I will have both. And cold sakes come in a couple different varieties as well. You have the Junmai Jinjo, which is like the high quality, the highly refined sakes, and then you have Nagori sake, which is the white, the kind of, it almost looks like horchata, the white sweet sakes. So those sakes are the sweet sakes. These are more of the dry or mild smooth sakes. So I lost one of my viewers. I guess one of my viewers isn't into sake. Sorry, we'll get back to it. But anyway, I promise we'll paint or something. I don't know. So anyway, this sake is one of my favorite brands. This is called Mu, Yagaki Mu. And this is a cold sake. You can find this sake at Total Wine. This is one of my favorites because it's a very mild but a very fragrant sake. And so we're going to have one of my favorites tonight, Yagaki Mu. And I'll have some of this on board with me when I'm on the boat. So yeah. So brief sake lesson for you. When you're trying to determine what type of sake you like, I would just say hot sakes are fine. You can start with hot sake. When you start getting into the cold sakes, there's a scale. There's a scale of negative to positive, and the more negative the sake is on the scale, the sweeter it is. The more positive it is, the drier that sake is. So the most expensive sakes tend to be, you know, pretty neutral, either -1, +1, and that's where I believe this one is a -1 or a -2 on that scale. I forget. But it's a very mild, smooth sake, so it's very smooth, and that's why this one is one of my favorites. So, brief tutorial on how to choose sake. I hope Viv, I don't know if Viv likes sake or not, or some of the other guys that watch this channel regularly. If you have gone to events with me, chances are you've had sake with me, and you've had this or one of my other favorite brands, which is called Bride of the Fox. Love Bride of the Fox. And this one is also very good, one of my favorites. So we're going to have some Mu. That was a long explanation for celebration, isn't it? Uh-oh. What's that? What? Never mind. Okay. So one of the other things about drinking sake is you have these really cool, like, accessories, and I got this accessory at the Kronenberg Renaissance Fair, and it's got one of my favorite symbols on it, which is the owl. So it's got this owl here that's carved out of bone. And what is this, you're asking? It looks like a you know, it could be a pocket watch or something like that. As it turns out, it goes like this, and there you go. You have a nice little drinking cup here. So I'm going to bring this with me on the cruise. I will also have a bottle of Mu that I will enjoy with my family, and we're going to have a glass or two tonight, and we'll see if you guys have any comments or anything like that while I pour the sake here and we drink a little celebration for our accomplishment and for your support. So I'm going to pour myself some of the sake. Now you, with the cold sakes, you're supposed to sip them You can shoot this, and I've shot this before. I will show you one of my other. Oh no, I can't. I gotta go back and get it. But for those of you who have been at conventions with me, they know that I actually shoot sake out of a large flintlock replica pistol that I call the Fox. So that's like my, I guess with my costuming, I generally have that flintlock with me, and it's not just part of the costume. It's it's part of my drinking accessories, which are fantastic. So you can shoot this stuff, but you should really sip it to appreciate it. So Kanpai, once again, thank you for 1,000 subs. Oh, that's so nice. So nice. It's a very smooth. A lot of people think sake is going to be strong because they've had shots of whiskey or vodka, and it's really nothing like that. It's really smooth. If you get a good sake, if you get a kind of a cheaper sake, you might feel it. Okay, so let's check YouTube for comments here. Let's see what we got. Oh, look, I get to see myself sipping sake again. 2 comments. Congrats on achieving 1K. That's from Tin Man, and I've had sake with you. Yes, Tin Man, you have. You've actually had Bride of the Fox, which is got to be one of my all-time favorites. And Bride of the Fox you can find at Bevmo, which is great. These are not cheap though. Moo and Bride of the Fox are not cheap, but they're fantastic. If you want a cheaper sake that's very good, I would recommend Kurosawa. That's a good. Now Kurosawa is interesting because you can have it hot or cold. I prefer it cold in sipping Kurosawa. So that's another one I would recommend. Wandering Poet is okay. It's kind of expensive for it, and again, this boils down to your taste. Some people like the sweet sakes. I like the just ever so slightly dry sakes because they're very smooth. All right, so what else is going on? So my brother and I are going on a cruise tomorrow, and we're not going to have we're not really going to have an area to do miniature gaming. So I'm going to bring a few games with us, and we're going with our entire family. There's going to be 30 of us. It's a giant crew for my dad's 75th birthday. And I'll be bringing a few different games on board, just games for kind of like general party style games like Love Letter. I'll bring Saboteur. That's one of my favorites. I know Tin Man, you and I played. You played a couple rounds of Saboteur with us at Kingdom Con, so you know that's a fun game. And so Saboteur and Zombie Flex. So I'm going to keep it real small. I mean, I'm with a baby with me. We gotta keep stuff small. So that's going on next week. And while I'm gone, Relic Knight should be showing up very soon. And that's going to be one of the big things for this channel. We might as well talk about the channel. We'll talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about tonight. So yeah, Relic Knights is coming, and I don't have any of the plastics yet, but I have painted some of the metal stuff. Obviously, when that gets painted up, when that comes in, I'm going to paint that up immediately. I'll unbox it and paint it up. Share the videos on a couple of places. We'll share it on the Relic Knights Facebook group. We'll share it on SoCal Tabletop, obviously, and you'll see some unboxing and painting. We'll probably paint during the live feed. Before I forget, one other thing. Congratulations to our friend Phil Howard and his new wife, Faith. Phil got married this Friday over in Rhode Island. So he's back east right now, enjoying his new time with his lovely wife. So we just want to congratulate them. Some other things going on. Congratulations to, actually, happy birthday to Nick from British Legion. There's another channel that needs to break 1,000 subs that does not heavily feature GW, and that is British Legion. Very awesome channel. Hope you guys watch Nick and British Legion. This feed's much better when I'm quiet and sipping sake. I can't get too drunk anyways. I got to get up early in the morning and get my family on board our ship. Um, so yeah, so lots of reasons to celebrate recently. So we break 1,000 subs here. Phil's getting married. My dad turned 75. I don't know what else we've got to celebrate, but it's all good stuff. Oh, Tin Man back on YouTube, and I know it's not good, dude. I know that you didn't want to be back on YouTube, but for us YouTube watchers, we're just very happy to have you back, and I for one am happy to see good content back on YouTube. And you're definitely a major contributor of that. So at least some of us benefit from your unfortunate journey between Blip and YouTube. So I probably should paint something at some time. So that's just some stuff that's going on with the channel, some stuff that's going on with me. I haven't really uploaded any videos besides live feeds lately, and it seems lazy. And yeah, it is. It is kind of lazy because there's a lot going on. Like I said, Dad turning 75, lots of celebrations to be had. But I'm glad that still managed to grow some subs during this time. And yeah, just very appreciative. The fact that people show up here and that there's a smaller group within YouTube that wants to know what else is being played. And again, I don't want to knock the larger games that are featured on YouTube, because there are a lot of fantastic people that make content regarding those games. Tin Man being one. I don't want to knock those channels, but I also feel that YouTube could stand with a little more other. Wargaming, the miniature wargaming scene has expanded exponentially in the past 5 years or more. Actually, yeah, we'll say 5 years. It has expanded exponentially. There are so many games out there that you could be playing and enjoying, and these games need to see some light of day. I personally feel that the more games that people know about, the better consumer-wise we can make decisions, and the better we can help control control manufacturers that help with quality control, help manufacturers that might be up to some kind of fishy stuff, to be honest with you, and highlight other manufacturers, the guys that are striking it out, the guys that are breaking barriers and thinking outside the box. Miniature wargaming as a hobby is a very, very complex hobby, and it would be terrible to allow miniature wargaming to be controlled by a handful, one or two companies that control the majority of players. I think that's a bad situation, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's not a popular opinion. I know a lot of people there are some great communities behind some of these larger games, and I definitely don't want to take away from that. I do feel, though, that in order to keep this market honest, in order to promote innovation and to continue to strive to deliver value to your customers, I feel that we as the consumer base do bear some responsibility in highlighting and championing some of these things that are outside of the two big companies right now. So I'm not saying exclusive. I'm saying let's be included as well. Let's let these skirmish games, let these great value-based games that have incredible gameplay, that are convenient for people, that are fun to paint, that do amazing things for their customers. Let's shed a little bit more light on them. And for you YouTube content makers, not just YouTube content makers, I guess online miniature wargaming content makers, I would challenge you to stop following trends and start setting some. You know, there's a lot of there are bigger channels out there than me. There are people that have a very loyal following, and those people could actually spend some time getting to know games instead of just claiming to know them, and they could actually be out there promoting those games. I think that would be fantastic, because if we had some of these bigger channels to say, hey, you know what, and you know, perfect example, somebody like Viv taking on In Her Majesty's Name, which is, you know, for the most part a fairly small, somewhat unknown game that is growing in popularity, because and deservedly so. So we see stuff like that happening. That is a huge thing, and I would love to see more of it. So right now I will preview the contest again in case you guys missed it on my other feed. The 1,000 sub contest, which I actually won't start until after I get back from the cruise, and then we've got some crazy conventions coming up. So it might be a little while, might be a little slow setting it up because I've got to line up price support and all that. But anyway, the 1,000 sub contest. Love it so much. 1,000 sub contest is actually to help me subscribe to other channels. I want to support other channels. I want to watch other channels. It's the reason why I'm on YouTube. And I want to watch channels specifically that are hobby-based. I tend to like the homegrown, you know, this is just a guy sitting at his desk, and this is what he does for fun. I don't really need highly polished videos that are asking me for money so that they can become more highly polished, and I don't need that stuff. I want, you know, in your garage, in your workspace guy that loves a game that maybe you don't love or maybe you don't know about. I want to watch that guy. I want to watch that guy that's passionate about showing off his game that he loves, and just his journey painting it, maybe playing it, showing it to other people. That's the 1,000 sub contest, and so that's what we're going to be getting at here. Okay, let's reload some some comments, and we'll see what we get. I may not paint tonight, guys, and if you need to tune out, that's fine. But it's cool. Okay, so a couple other comments here from looks like a couple of comments from Steve. I plan on buying Saboteur. Good news. Really enjoy. Hope you enjoyed that game. There is actually an expansion to it that makes it a little bit more complicated, and I like the fact that they're separate, because then you can play Saboteur with a new crowd or maybe a non-gaming crowd, because they can pick it up real easy. And then your hardcore guys, then you can break out the expansion, break into teams. Then you've got like the bosses, and you've got a bunch of other roles in there as well. After I post the PWMJ battle report, I'm going to post the Anima Tactics demo. Thank you. That's awesome. I'm glad we were able to salvage some footage there. I know we had to stop the tape a few times because there were some people saying hi to you and wanted to talk to you about getting in some other games. So I really appreciate it. And I had fun with that demo, so I hope you did too. And I'm glad that that demo will eventually see some airtime here. Okay, Minutes on the Sun. Congrats on the 1,000 subs and cool shirt. Thank you. All right, so this is kind of a homegrown shirt. This is what I use when I'm running demos or I'm at a convention. And it is what this is. This is basically just a Dickies work shirt, and then the Helldorado patch is from their Inferno Kickstarter. But you can still get some. You can find them on eBay, and they're fantastic. I love these patches. I have 2 or 3 of these shirts, just so and I have one black. This is my gray one. so that, you know, when I'm at multiple days at a convention, I always have something to wear. But you know, Ninja also has like the anima shirts that I wear, and then Ninja Division will also have the Ninja Division shirts. Oh, here's another spoiler since you guys are watching. So check this out, for you guys that are fans of the Cypher Ninja Division Soda Pop stuff. In July, we're gonna have two conventions coming up. We've got well, first off, hold on. Let me plug Tin Man's convention. He's got Bakersfield Anime coming up. Oh no, that was today. Oh, sorry, dude. I missed it. I was late. Yeah, that's the reason why my brother and I could not go. It's because we're getting ready for a cruise tomorrow. But Bakersfield Anime was today. Hopefully things worked out for you well, Steve. Hopefully you had fun there. But anyways, July 4th weekend, we've got Anime Expo coming up at the Los Angeles Convention Center. And this is my brother's show. This is Heretic of You's his major convention every year. So he coordinates this show. I kind of help him line some stuff up beforehand, and then I'll work. I like to work the busiest day with him, because Anime Expo is crazy. It's one of the busiest shows we have all year. And this year at Anime Expo, we're going to be running Anima Tactics, and we will be running Super Dungeon Explorer. I may not have any Relic Knights painted up to show off. Unfortunately, it depends on how we can line things up, but we'll see. But that's going to be a huge show, and Ross Thompson from Ninja Division will be on hand with us, just running games with us and finding out more about this gigantic opportunity for Ninja Division. So we're really excited about that. Now, where's Dave? I don't know if Dave, my friend Dave Leach, is watching or not. Dave Leach from the Total Command Eldorado podcast. Now, if you haven't checked this out, check it out for real. Check out it's called Total Command. You can find out about it on the Cypher Studios Facebook group on Facebook, or you can just check out totalcommand.com. But anyway, Dave and I are working on a plan, and I'm only going to share it here on this live feed, but we're working on a plan by which we can actually shoot a live stream from Comic-Con. Now, that doesn't really sound like much of an accomplishment, considering last year I already did that, but here's what I'm going to spoil for you guys. And let's hope it's still true. But let's see. Well, this can't be right. We see the man himself. That's Viv. What's up, Viv? Viv. Salute. Kampai, actually. Having some sake. You missed, if you're just tuning in right now, I just did a whole little spiel on sake, but you can watch this when it uploads. So, Kampai. Okay, so anyways, I know I keep getting derailed. I'm sorry. It's a late night here. Well, not that late. But anyway, so at Comic-Con, we have a cool opportunity this year in that I was able to invite members of the Ninja Division to come to Comic-Con, attend Comic-Con with us, with my crew, Play It Painted. And so it'll be Play It Painted and Ninja Division at Comic-Con. And I'm going to ask them if they will sit in on a live feed. Not only a live feed, but we're hoping, if technology plays out and me and Dave can figure out how to work all this stuff, we're hoping that that we can be recording our live feed Q&A with Ninja Division, and Dave and Jillian and Grayson can be recording Total Command from our live feed. Now, the hope is that Dave and Jillian and Grayson can actually can collect preset questions from the Cypher Studios Facebook group, or from our YouTube feed, or from online, and actually they're going to be the ones asking those questions. Me live with the guys at Ninja Division, I would be asking them questions that you guys would put in here on the live feed, either on YouTube or in the Q&A here, or on any of the Facebook groups that I manage. So I think that's going to be a treat. I hope we can pull it together, because there's some technology involved between pulling off a G Plus live feed and then recording that into Audacity. But I'll let Dave figure out the audio side of that, and I'll just make sure we have internet and a camera and a microphone, and also a portable speaker. We'll need that too, because for you guys that watched the live feed from Comic-Con last year, you know that there's a lot of background noise. There are people gaming, and we will try to bring that to you. If we do bring it to you, I'm thinking that would probably be Thursday evening of July 23rd. Yes, Thursday evening of July 23rd at live from Comic-Con. We would probably start at, say, 8 p.m. and we'll only torture Ninja Division for about an hour. Now, who is expected to be there from Ninja Division? Okay, so we actually have 4 people that are supposed to be here for Comic-Con for Ninja Division. So we've got Ross Thompson, which everybody knows Ross Thompson. If you've played any game in North America, miniatures game, Soda Pop, he used to work for Simon, but now he's with Soda Pop Ninja Division, obviously. Ross Thompson. Then you have Deke Stella from Soda Pop, and then we'll have 2 guys from Cypher Studios. We'll have David Freeman, who is the U.S. Core Rules developer for Helldorado. He's the architect behind the Inferno expansion. And then finally, we'll have the man himself, Kai Nesbitt, the owner of Cypher Studios, on hand at Comic-Con. So really looking forward to that. Hopefully I can get some more shirts, because I was asking Kai, like, dude, I love these patches. Can we get some more patches so that my team can actually wear a bunch of Helldorado patches? So yeah. Okay, Viv, gonna pour another one. Whoa. Okay, sorry, my the cup collapses. Anyway, so some more Moo is the name of this sake. We're going to pour ourselves another glass of this. That's fantastic. It just keeps us warm and good stuff. So, kanpai. And let's check comments while we're here. Right? I don't know what happened to my mouse, why my light mouse isn't working right now. Oh, we're at the 30-minute mark. I may have to cut this short unless you guys are interested in watching me paint Slightly Buzzed. Which I can totally do that. I can actually change the camera angle here so that we're back to looking at the workbench. That's not such a bad idea. But yeah. So, still drinking. Viv, please tell me you drink sake, man. Oh, love sake. Okay, so put this away for now. What should I paint? I don't know. What do I have to paint? So the next question. I have a couple things. I've got this metal. What is this guy's name? Magnus, I think his name is, from Relic Knights. So this is the metal version of that miniature, and I put him together and primed him up and was ready to go, but then all the plastic showed up, and I was like, oh, well, do I really need to paint this guy? I might still do it anyway, because, I mean, look at the model. It's fantastic. Great looking model. So we've got him, and then we have this guy here, Abizeth, which I was planning on holding on to paint until I could do a proper Tuesday night live feed. But yeah, he's a fantastic model for Helldorado. I think we're done looking at me, so I'm gonna change this camera angle here for a minute, and yeah, let's paint something. Let's just paint something fast. I don't know that I want to. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay, so here we go. Whoa, cord stuff. Oh, check it out. Here's a mic stand. That's the new mic stand that my wife picked up for me for Father's Day. and we'll be testing that. Dave, we got to test that sometime with your equipment. See if you can pick up the voices of us in a crowd. If you guys want to shoot me a comment and let me know how my audio is doing right now, that would be fantastic. I'm going to move this microphone over here, and here we go. See, now we're back to what you guys are used to seeing, which is the top of my desk and all these rings here from when I was painting miniatures and let things dry. So let's show off a few things. I actually, you know what? I don't know that we have enough time to paint here, but I'm gonna just show off some latest stuff here. So from a commission, there's Helle Muller, right? She's a mercenary here with her nice little fun club, beating people. You guys saw some of this stuff during the last live feed. So here's a deserter. Another deserter. Very cool. And one of my favorite miniatures here, the Russian Trapper. Very fun model. And this guy's name is Gotz von Berlichen. I know I'm murdering that name. So he's a mercenary knight. Fun model. And this guy here, Guillaume de Sable, I think is his name. The Black Knight. I kind of did him. Now, the studio art kind of has this burned part all like black and like crispy, and I decided to go a little bit more Freddy Krueger and leave it kind of raw and red. So I went that way with him, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna reload comments one more time, and I'm sorry we didn't paint anything. I just don't know if we can. I don't know if I have really time to do that. I actually have to finish doing a little bit of packing, and then I gotta call it. But let's take some more comments. Let's see here. Your audio is good. Thank you. Thanks, Steve. I'm out of booze at the moment. I'm tempted to run into Food Max and grab a bottle of Kraken. That's awesome. Kraken rum. It's good rum. I looked for sake. All I could find was either beer or port, so I'm having both. Good times, man. Hey, by the way, if you guys want to hop on and bullshit, totally cool with that. Let me know, and we'll make it happen. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here for a few and just kind of be grateful for people that supported me, supported this channel, and yeah. So we'll do some quick shout outs while we're here, and we'll talk about like where this channel has been, where it intends to go, and everything in between. So first off, the very first person I want to thank for this channel is my brother, Heretic of You. If you're not watching Heretic of You, you should be watching Heretic of You. He does fantastic battle reports. He does a lot of Blood Bowl content, as well as Warmahordes, and recently he's done Super Dungeon Explorer. I do expect that he will probably do some Relic Knights battle reports as well. So his channel actually and my channel are kind of we try to complement one another's content. So if he'll probably do more SDE battle reports than I do. I'll probably do more painting vids than he does. It's typically how that's going to work. But I wanted to thank him for being my brother and for getting his camera one day when we were at our LGS and we wanted to film. I think he wanted to film some Malifaux battle reports, and he didn't bring his camera, and I happened to have a camera on me, and so I filmed a couple. They're real sketchy battle reports for Malifaux. They're like real scratchy bad quality videos, but that got me started. That got me started in this doing a channel, because I was never really interested in doing a YouTube channel. My brother had one, and I was very happy to watch his content. I watched all of his Blood Bowl stuff because I played in the Blood Bowl league that he commissioned, and he's a fantastic Blood Bowl commissioner. And you know, we ran many seasons together. And I watched his channel. I watched it religiously, and I enjoyed his content. And we didn't care. My brother didn't care about how many subs he had or how popular he was or whatever he was covering. It was just for us and our friends to enjoy when, you know, in the middle of the week when we're not watching or when we're not able to game with one another. We get to watch his channel. We get to watch him do. He did hilarious stuff. Like, he would take a model and like do the voice of the model, and he would do impressions and like play-by-play stuff for Blood Bowl. But as it turned out, he was moving into a game called Malifaux and wanted to shoot bat reps of Malifaux. He was doing Worm Hordes too at the time, and I started to pick up Malifaux with him, and I was the one that really jumped heavily into the rule set. And at that time, that's when I discovered Viv, because obviously Viv has got one of the most popular Malifaux vids of all time. His Malifaux vids, some of his his 1 hour live play stuff, and so forth. And so I started to put up Malifaux bat reps, and I decided that my brother was like, you know, hey, you should actually put some more vids up so I can watch them. And I started to do vids on like gaming bags, accessories. I did a series about for new gamers, because I was like, you know, if I'm gonna do YouTube vids, I want to like actually tell new gamers some stuff and share my experiences, and you know, maybe even give them a little bit of advice when they're hopping into a hobby like this, because one does not simply walk into wargaming, right? But anyway, so that's what I was doing, and I did videos, and I still do videos mainly for the pleasure of my friends. And that's the spirit that my brother and I have put out videos. That's always been our approach, and our focus has always been on the games themselves. You know, the YouTube part of the hobby is just something to help us supplement our hobby. It is not. We don't consider ourselves to be YouTubers so much as we are gamers that happen to have YouTube channels. And that's the attitude that we keep. That's the attitude that we will plan on moving forward with. That said, you know, when we do have an audience and we do have people that are supportive of us and want to actually hear what we have to say, that's very shocking, by the way, that anyone would want to hear what my brother and I have to say. But yeah, when we have stuff like that, we have a forum here. Let's talk about other stuff. You know, on YouTube, there's some topics that are safe that you can stay with. You know, oh, I'm going to talk about 40K, and yeah, you should take a Leman Russ. You know, stuff like that. There's a lot of safe content in the miniature wargaming arena of YouTube. My brother and I purposely do not really want to cover safe stuff, because we're not really, we don't want to appeal to everybody. We don't want to just pay lip service to whatever is popular, and we don't want to be people that you know, try to profit somehow, like off of their e-fame or whatever. We're doing this because we love it, because it's part of our it's just part of something that supplements our hobby. So anyway, I dove with this channel. I dove pretty headfirst into Malifaux, and you know, that is really where I made my mark. Not so much on YouTube, but online and in our local communities. You know, I was a lot of people say I was the grand architect of the SoCal Malifaux group, which spawned so many other groups and communities and friendships and relationships that to this day exist because of the group SoCal Malifaux. This channel was really the SoCal Malifaux channel for a long time. That's why there's so much Malifaux content on this channel. Unfortunately, all of it is completely useless right now because of M2E. And so that's where I made my mark. And when I quit Malifaux, the fact of the matter is my views went way down. They went way down because people would come here for Malifaux, and I felt kind of bad, like I was doing a disservice to people that came here for Malifaux. That said, you know, I had to stay true to myself, and I had to stay true to the people I believe in, and support my community in the way I felt necessary. So we moved on, and we moved into a bunch of other games, and I was trying different gaming systems all the time, and that's when, you know, Viv and I started to talk a little bit more about different gaming systems and what we like, what we don't like, and that's really when Play It Painted was born, because it was like, okay, so I'm going to jump into all these other systems, but I have no real way of identifying myself, and how do we identify ourselves? And that, you know, my brother and I were like, well, the main difference between us and a lot of other people, a lot of other channels out there, is that we play 100% painted all the time. I mean, dogmatically, 100% painted all the time. It doesn't even matter. Even when we were play testing games, we would break out proxy models and make sure that those proxies were painted. That's just how we rolled, man. That's just what we did, and that's a little unusual in the gaming world. So, you know, the idea came up that, hey, let's do Play It Painted, and let's play all these games and let's talk about them, but let's also show them painted, because we feel that you're, you know, for miniature gaming, you're sacrificing some of the gaming experience if you don't actually do the painting part. And I'm not saying that you suck if you don't paint. I'm just saying that that's another portion of the hobby to be enjoyed, of the game to be enjoyed. And some people only paint. Some people only paint. Some people only game. Play It Painted the idea was to try and provide the most comprehensive gaming experience possible by providing painted miniatures, by teaching people how to paint miniatures, by teaching people how to play games, and by showing people games that were not part of the mainstream with miniature wargaming. We have many thoughts about this, and we've shared them on many live shows. But it is our honest belief that if you start somebody in a game that's cheaper than the more popular games, and you show them how to paint fewer models and how to enjoy painting, I personally feel that we would end up with healthier gamers, and we'd end up with healthier attitudes towards gaming, and we'd end up with, like I was talking about before, about a consumer base that really did take its own power and its own responsibility into account. And actually, I feel that overall, it's a win for gaming. So yeah, that's my preachy thing. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, seeing a. I'm gonna reload some comments here. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be on, because I actually may have to sleep here pretty soon. But I'm very, very grateful for you guys to join. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's where my channel was at, and that's our basic philosophy. Is that you know, there's plenty of stuff out there that will show you how to meta a game, right? There's plenty of stuff that'll tell you, take this and this and this and put it in your list and kick the snot out of people at tournaments, and that's fine. There's plenty of content about, okay, you paint this way and you paint this ultra super high detailed fancy technique and you'll win the painting competition, right? But there wasn't a whole lot out there that's saying, hey, flip this over and experience this whole thing, and try different games. And don't just try different games, like push them. See if other people will play these games with you, because as it turns out, these are great games. That's my opinion on them anyway. I feel that these games are fantastic games. Saga, fantastic game. Obviously, all the stuff that I push on this channel, I feel that I feel that they're the best. They're the best experience in miniature gaming, top to bottom. And I'm talking about from collecting to painting to building to playing. These are the best experiences you can get in miniature gaming for the amount of money that you're paying. I feel that they deliver value. I feel that they're great games. They're fun games. They're thematic games, and that's why I push them. That's why I push these games. And the other games that are out there are okay, and they're actually quite good. But these are the games that I really want to champion. I didn't even say anything good right there, did I? All right, so it's 11 o'clock. I'm gonna probably tune out here in a minute. Steve, I'd have you on, but I'm only gonna be on here for a few minutes. If you want to hop on and have a toast with me, that'd be fantastic. So let me do that. Let me send you a link here, so you can hop on. Here's a question. I'm gonna take this question right here, but I'm gonna send a link over to Steve, or as you guys know him, Tin Man XL. But yeah, we're not gonna stay on terribly long. Okay, here's a question here. And this is kind of a general question. Do you have any tips for dealing with depression? Wow. Well, as it turns out, my dad is a psychiatrist, and one of his specialties was depression, because he retired. So it was depression. I don't have any specific tips for dealing with depression other than seek some professional help. Don't let things linger. I know from other people, and this isn't my advice, I'm just regurgitating other people's advice, that exercise is quite good for dealing with depression. I went through some traumatic stuff in my life, and when I had that, believe it or not, when I had to deal with some real tough times, miniature painting, getting into a hobby, having a creative outlet, whether or not it's painting. I did journaling. I did sketch journaling, which was fantastic, and it's very therapeutic. You can really work some stuff out by drawing how you feel, by painting. Spending time working on something like this and painting it, and just diving into something like that. But again, let me put this disclaimer out there. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a physician. I'm not a psychiatrist. Just a dude that paints little toy guys and complains about shit. So that's it. I hope that helped. I don't know if it did. I mean, just the guy, but yeah, if you need somebody to talk to, man, totally. I'll talk with you. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I'm just glad you guys hopped on. That was cool, man. I'm on vacation now. I'm super happy. Getting on this boat tomorrow. It's gonna be fantastic. All right. Let's see. Another one from Viv here. Well, congrats on the channel growth, direction, and subscribers. I love tuning in and listening to your insightful commentary on a wide range of topics. Come pie. Thanks, dude. Come pie, Viv. Viv.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
All right. Looks like my webcam's not working right now.
Yeah, I've got all I've got is a green screen for you, sir.
Yeah, that's all I got on my end too. That's something. Let me
It's weird because I've got this like big long like panoramic style HD screen, and you've got a little green block. Okay, now I've got your avatar.
Oh, yeah, it seems to be not seeing my. So I gotta go to the settings here. Looks like.
All right. And you know what, Tin Man? For you, I'm gonna pour myself one more.
Yeah, it's not seeing my. That's not an issue here. With my webcam, because that would not be good.
Alright.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, and you know what? While Viv is here, I'm gonna show off the fox. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So, and we've got your camera back as well. So nice. All right.
Yeah.
So here we
do
go.
the whole
Let me
turn
pull
it
this
off,
up.
turn it
Let's
back on
actually
again.
pan out a little bit so you can see the whole thing here. All right. So this little guy here, I call the fox. Okay, and this is an integral part of the costumes that I wear when I'm at, like, say, Comic-Con or WonderCon. You know, it's a nice nice piece of equipment here for, like, steampunk outfits, or even musketeer type outfits, because I've worn this to Ren Fair as well. Anyway, this is it. Comes with its own little holster there, and the body of the gun, little design here on the pommel, and then you've got here is actually this used to work. This was a lighter where you squeeze the trigger and a little flame shoots out here. And back when I was a smoker, that was very, very useful because you can smoke and drink with the Fox. And finally, so I don't smoke anymore, so I don't really need this to work anymore. You can, I guess I could refill it and try to fix it, but not really my gig anymore. But now, anyway, the useful part of the Fox is this piece here, the basically the barrel, because the barrel is a shot glass. It actually, it's solid at the end, and that's unusual for this weapon. You can actually find this on like on eBay, or I think they may have this at Amazon. You can even find this at conventions. But what you'll find is you get to this part here, and this part will be hollow through the barrel. In other words, you can't use it as a shot glass. And I don't know why they did that. And sometimes they stick like an orange plug on this end too. And so there's a plug here and there's a hole going all the way down. So you can't really use this as a shot glass anymore. But that's kind of what makes the Fox unique, is that it's in fact a shot glass and was designed to be a shot glass. I wish I could tell you where you could find these, because you can find this model, but you can't find one that's still a shot glass. So the Fox is something that I bring with me.
I've seen you carry that before at SoCal SmackDown, but I had no idea. I thought it was just
That's right. You saw. That's right. Yeah.
Because you had your own steampunk get up there back in your SoCal Malifaux days.
That's right. I still, yeah, and yeah, I still wear that stuff. It's awesome. And that get up is not cheap. But the Fox is, it's just something that I always carry with me. I'll have it with me at Comic-Con this year, obviously. And it's just a great accessory that people don't realize is a shot glass. And a lighter, but really only using it as a shot glass these days. So anyway, what's up, man? How's it going?
Been all right. I did some painting. I did probably one of the worst. Well, I'm not gonna say one of the worst episodes of Dice Rage Live that I've did yet, but pretty much it was like we kind of arranged it at the last minute. It ended up just being me and Cam. So I was trying to paint this because I was stuck in a corner, and Cam was playing Smash Bros. So it was the most entertaining episode yet. And then I got burnt out on like trying to work my way out of the corner on this guy here.
Uh-huh.
So we just grabbed like the latest episode of No Quarter Magazine, and we just started talking about the Cephalix models that were in it.
Well, that's cool.
So
You
yeah,
know
it
what?
was,
I've had plenty of dry episodes here on this show too. So, but you know what? It's cool. People still, I don't know. I think people still tune in and paint. I missed this week's Dice Rage Live. Actually, my brother called me to remind me, "Hey, you missed Dice Rage Live." I was like, "Oh shit." I must have been working because I'm generally at work when you guys are doing that.
well, pretty much this was another late night edition.
Okay.
So you guys
Oh,
may have
sorry.
been home, but I just didn't get the word out. I didn't post anything to the group. I didn't. I'm probably gonna try doing the whole schedule it early and let it sit there for a couple of days.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna try that for the next one. Just everything I've tried to get the word out about episodes
Mm-hmm.
doesn't get the word out about episodes. So I've done created events in the Facebook group, invited like 80 people. I still only get like 5 people watching live.
You know what?
But
I don't
lucky.
even get those invites, so I don't know what's going on. I know I'm a member of Steam Powered TV and listen while you play, and I know you put those invites out. I've never seen one come across my email or whatever.
That's actually some good feedback because it used to be with the groups, you would create an event, invite everyone in the group, everyone got the invite.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems to be that then it became like only your friends got the invite, but now people on my friends list aren't getting invites. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's kind of weird. Hmm. Comment from Viv. Wow, that is cool. I wanted to buy something similar when we were in Argentina for our honeymoon, but that was not allowed. Sorry, Viv. Yeah, I don't know if you can find, because I even went back to the guy that sold me this originally, and I said, "Hey, man, I would love to have another one, just so one of my friends can have one, or maybe maybe if I ever lost this one, I'd have another one." He's like, "No, we're not even allowed to make them that way anymore. We have to drill out the shot glass, which sucks." So.
Why do they have to drill out the shot glass?
That doesn't even make sense to me because, like with toy guns here in the U.S., they're required to put like an orange, like a bright orange plug in there so that the cops or whatever don't shoot a kid that's like pointing these toy pistols at them. But I don't know exactly why they have to drill them out. But they have to drill them out, I guess, so that you can see that it's just a piece of wood and whatever in the back. But yeah, if you get them now, the hole goes all the way through, and then there's an orange plug halfway down. So you get you cannot use it as a shot glass. So.
I mean, you can have an orange shot glass as the tip of the gun, and then people know.
I guess you could take one of those newer ones and plug it yourself. I guess you could do that. But,
of course, then again, you're drinking from the barrel of a gun. A cop sees that, they might think you're doing something else.
Oh, that's true, right?
They might slowly approach you and tell you that you're not the only one in the world who has it hard.
Having problems,
going,
yeah.
What? and then you turn around like, I know. That's why I'm getting myself a drink of this cracking rum here.
I'm gonna give myself a
I don't have cracking rum. I got Kool-Aid because, like I said, I'm out of booze. So
that's cool. You know what? I'll toast your Kool-Aid with my sake here. We'll just do it. Kampai.
Indeed.
So good. Yeah. So you had the one that we had together was the Bride of the Fox, which is.
I was trying to remember because I thought about getting some.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by expensive, how much does it go for a bottle?
That one goes for, I believe, 35 or 36 bucks a bottle.
Well, I'm glad I didn't pig out on your stuff, because I think I got like 3 or 4 shots. But I was just like, well, I don't want to drink all this man's booze. You know, a bottle of Kraken at Food Max is like 15 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So it normally goes for 25 to 30, but Food Max, take it to the max. I've just seen it for 15.
Okay. I was going to say, if you want a good, like, $15 to $18 bottle of sake, I would recommend Kurosawa.
All right.
Kurosawa is good. And I don't know if you're a fan of Akira Kurosawa, the director. He directed
actually am.
And Ron. Yeah, so you'll remember. You'll easily remember. You'll go to the store and go, oh, Kurosawa. You know, Octave mentioned that at one point, and I remember him as the director. So that's a good sake.
The first sake I ever had, and I was actually too young to drink at the time, was Kamikaze.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of rubbing alcohol.
Oh, so not so good, that one.
Yeah.
That was more of a vodka sake.
But it was like we were young and we didn't know how to drink yet. So I was just thinking, well, you know, if I slip, fall, and get scraped up, I could rub this on the road rash here.
Your wound.
I mean, that was my reaction. But it was literally, you're at that age where you're not like in college yet, so you haven't gone to like a frat party or something like that, because that's where you learn how to drink. Mm-hmm. And instead, it was just like we had these just random alcohols, and we were trying them.
Okay, yeah.
That's the thing we were at. Then a friend of mine gets out of the Army. So he learned how to drink in the Army, so he literally takes me out to a nightclub and introduced me to all these different cocktails. And that was pretty good. I like to dance. I ended up slipping and falling on the dance floor, and he nearly got in a fight with some people that were pointing and making fun of the way I was dancing.
Oh, no, man.
Because they really walked up on, like, I don't appreciate you making fun of my friend.
Oh.
You know? So he told me about it the next morning, man. I was just like, really?
Yeah, so but yeah, sake is interesting because the cruise line that we're going on, their regulations for alcohol is you can carry on 1 bottle of champagne or wine per passenger over 21. And my wife and I aren't really champagne drinkers, and we're not really wine drinkers, but yeah, sake is my libation of choice. And the truth of the matter is, sake is a rice wine. So I called Carnival and they said, hey, we're allowed to carry wine on board. Can I carry sake? And they were like, at first they said, no, I don't know if that counts. And I'm like, well, yeah, but it's wine. It is wine. I mean, I was gonna pull the whole, hey, you guys are racist against Eastern wine on Carnival, but yeah, it is a wine. I don't see why, and I'll find out tomorrow. Hopefully not the hard way, whether or not they will allow me to carry my sake on board, because that's what I'm planning on having during the trip, and I'm going to have it in my new little accessory here, the owl. So this is a really cool little portable drinking glass that I picked up at the Kronenberg Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, let's get a look at that.
Yeah, so, hold on, let me finish drinking this so I can show you what it does.
Is that collapsible?
Yeah, so so you can see it's telescoping.
Oh, yeah.
Collapses down, and then you got a cover here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and and it looks like kind of like a pocket watch style thing. And you carry this on you, and then when you're ready to drink, you pop this out and you pop the glass out like that, and you're good to go.
I'll get one of those for Kingdom Con next year.
Yeah, they have bigger ones. They make bigger sizes of these, but this is the perfect size for sake, and it's it's another thing that can be buried in with the owl, especially. This can be buried in like a steampunk costume, and people don't know that you're like ready to party at any point. You have the fox and the owl.
There was a steampunk con the following week,
Mm-hmm.
and Professor Elemental was performing there.
Oh yeah.
And I
Gaslight
was just,
Gathering.
yeah. And I was
Yeah.
just like, man, if I only knew, I'd have been conflicted as to what weekend to take off. Of course, if I took off the weekend for Gaslight Gathering, that corresponded with a week that payday happens, and I probably wouldn't have gotten the days off.
Ouch.
Because pretty much I figured out that when something corresponds with payday,
Mm-hmm.
or the week we'll get paid, that it's harder to get that weekend off.
I see. Well, I typically work Gaslight Gathering because I work, I'll work Kingdom Con, and then later on, because my wife is a huge steampunk fan, and she loves to dress up in steampunk stuff. That's kind of what we do together. She's not a gamer, but she loves costuming.
And so many of the pictures of her on your Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even picture her in regular clothing. She could be wearing like jeans and a t-shirt. I'll be like, who's this?
Let me share something with you really sad. I'm going to share this is a really sad but hilarious Gen Con story. Gen Con 2012. I was walking around. My wife and I were walking around, and we're in our whole steampunk getup, and you've seen it many times before. And a guy walks up to me. This is when I was the henchman for Malifaux. Guy walks up to me from out of the blue, and he's like, "Hey, you must be the Ebonstar. I'm a big fan of yours. I follow your channel. You are fantastic, yada yada. I became a henchman because I watched your videos." And I'm like, so like ego inflating, right? Like, oh, that's so awesome. How did you recognize me in this crowd of 50,000 people that is Gen Con? And he's like, well, I recognized your wife. So he was like, yeah.
Somebody gets ice for that burn.
He was like, yeah, I recognize your wife. A lot of people recognize you. Your wife, her picture gets thrown around a lot on these convention photos. So he recognized my wife, and he figured, hey, I've seen your hands on your channel, and I figured, well, that guy's the same complexion as the Ebonstar's hands, and that's his wife. That's got to be him. So that's how they recognized me, which is kind of okay, because maybe I'm a hand model. I don't know. If you watch the promo for Gaslight Gathering, you actually see my hands dealing out Malifaux cards. So I think I am kind of an amateur hand model.
I gotta find a good angle for painting my stuff, because I was like, just been failing at it. I tried setting up it on adjacent tables and it's just, I gotta find a good angle to paint my stuff, not have my light work with me and not against me when I'm working on stuff.
It's always kind of tricky to do stuff like that. And even this one isn't the best angle, but it's a decent angle. I mean, you can see me working most of the time on these. My issue is trying to keep stuff in frame while I'm painting, because when you're painting fine detail, your hands you tend to pull stuff towards you, and you're out of frame, so you're like, oh, I need to paint in eyeballs, and you're like this. But yeah, Gaslight Gathering. Let me tell you, Steve, that if you can, I highly, as a single man, let me just explain this to you. As a single man, you really need to go to Gaslight Gathering. For real, seriously. To give you an idea, there's gaming there, and it's a small room for gaming, but it's always fun. We run a lot of small skirmish games in there. They would love to. Hadrian, I know. Do you know Hadrian from San Diego?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a press ganger down in San Diego. He runs War Machine there, but he's not the only one. So
big old beard, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're interested, if you are interested in like running War Machine at Gaslight Gathering, I'm sure Ross would be totally on board for that. But anyway, so there is gaming there at the con, but obviously it's a steampunk con, so most of the time it's like costumes and panels and whatnot. They have mermaids at these cons that are in the pool all the time, which is phenomenal. I can't recommend that more. This is the con where I, as a married man, trying to mind my own business and just show people how to push minis around.
Dealing with
Uh,
the
I,
temptation.
I've gotten, yeah, I've gotten into some trouble at this con, trying to mind my own business, and I'm not, I'm not saying I'm a catch or anything like that. I'm just saying it's there, it's present at this con. So I highly, highly recommend going to this con, and particularly since you're a rum fan, I know I know you drink Kraken. Since you're a rum fan, they do a rum party Saturday night at Gaslight Gathering, which is phenomenal. It is so much fun. Ross is there pouring drinks for everybody.
So Ross does Gaslight as well?
Yes, yeah.
Is he
Uh,
running it, or is he just like...
well, Ross is for the past couple of years he was in charge of gaming, and he has since taken on a larger role in the convention. So he does a lot of the other like main promotion of this con. Um, and so gaming kind of has taken a back seat, but we'll be back strong next year. We just couldn't work it out because it was back-to-back weekends. But Ross is a major part of this con, so when it's Ross Thompson, it's a good time, right?
You know it's a party.
It's a party. Anytime Ross Thompson's going to put his name on something, it's going to be a party, and Gaslight Gathering is no exception. So I cannot recommend this enough, and I honestly every year I come back from Gaslight Gathering and I yell at all my single friends for not going. I yell at them like, "What is your problem? I'm in trouble at this con. I'm a married dude trying to mind my own business, so you definitely need to go to this con."
you definitely need a wingman, but not in the
No,
traditional bar hopping sense.
I need people that will take the heat off of me, so that I don't come home from this con in a big fight with my wife.
Right, so in other words, it's like, well, hey, my friend over there, he's single. He got a hotel room all to himself because he can't stand snoring people.
Yeah, well, that's the other recommendation. Get your own hotel room for sure. If you're gonna do that. There's something about these cons where you've got all these people in costume that is just I wouldn't even begin to try to describe
What's
it here.
The age range? Because like when I go to anime cons, it's mostly high school kids, and I feel like a creeper.
Yeah, well,
because I'm like, I'll start checking a girl. I'll go, wait a minute, wait.
Is she?
High school kids around. Is some dad gonna come out of nowhere and punch me in the face? Because I spent more than 2 seconds looking up and down the costume.
Well, I can say from experience, Gaslight Gathering is a pretty eclectic crowd. But that said, for the most part, you're talking about people in their 20s and 30s. You have some older folks there as well. Those folks will do like the tea parties and that stuff. But if you go to like the dances and you go to especially the rum party, that's all pretty young, 20 to 40, I would say.
Okay.
Crowd. So I mean, it's totally your speed. Now, if you were to go to HRM Steampunk Symposium, which is on the Queen Mary, which is coincidentally that's where my son was conceived. If you go to that con is a little word I'm looking for. That con's a little more restrained, a little more family situation. So maybe not quite as good for the single guy. But definitely definitely Gaslight Gathering. I can't recommend that enough. That is just a good time. Even if you don't meet anybody there, I promise you will have such a great time at that con.
That is definitely a glowing recommendation there. If I get a job that doesn't suck and I get good hours and good pay, I'm definitely hitting it.
Nice.
I'll definitely be there. And of course, a job that doesn't suck and gives me good pay means, of course, me working on a steampunk costume finally. I've been wanting to do for like 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for like 10 years now, I've been wanting to put a steampunk costume together. In fact, wow. I remember 10 years ago going to a Ren fair and they're talking about getting me some garb, and I'm going, yeah, this is nice and all, but I wouldn't mind, some doodads and some this, that, and going, well, that's not in time period. I know, but still, they say, well, American McGee's Alice, one of my favorite video games. Well, it's not in time period. Okay.
Well,
what do you mean I can't walk around the Ren Fair with a top hat on? People don't wear top hats yet. Okay.
I go to at least 2 Ren Fairs a year, and I will say that in the past year or 2 years, steampunk has pretty much infiltrated most of your larger Ren Fairs. So what was interesting, because like the LA Ren Fair, they used to have Steampunk Weekend, right? And that was the weekend where you put on your top hat and your goggles and you showed up at that weekend. But now, like this year, we were walking around, and it didn't matter what weekend we were there were always steampunkers. And I think the Ren Fair, the Rennie folks have kind of figured out, hey, if we're going to survive, because let's just be honest here for a second, and chime in here if you feel, if you have some thoughts on this. But here's my impression, and you just got back from Back Anime, so maybe you can provide some perspective.
I didn't make it to Back Anime. I had to work. I couldn't get the day off.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right, well, I thought about having back problems and calling in, but I'm just like, well, I had yesterday off for a tournament, and.
Well, anyway, here's what I'm getting at. So Ren Fairs have been big for a while. They've been big for like the past 15 years or so. But recently, in the past 5 years or so, anime cons and cosplay has really just blown that stuff way out of the water, right? I mean, a cosplay con, I mean, there are professional cosplayers. It is such a huge, huge deal to be a cosplayer that I think these Ren Fair guys they're starting to suffer, and they're like, hey, we gotta kind of keep up a little bit with the times, and so it's my impression that they've gotten a little bit more lax towards having steampunkers with them, because they know, hey, the steampunk crowd is still a popular, growing crowd. So we gotta keep our attendance, and we should be okay with these folks at our fairs. Whereas the experience you were sharing was more like, hey, you're not in period. I think a lot of that is kind of taking a back seat now that they're realizing that cosplay is kicking their asses, literally.
Well, here's the experience I had. I was putting a pirate costume together.
Okay.
And I looked like a pirate. So I actually my Renaissance garb made me look like a pirate. I'm walking into a Ren Fair, and this loud talking dude, because apparently some people, when you can't act, you just speak really loudly, walks up and gives me a hard time about how I look like I live on a ship. And basically what it was is because I looked a little out of period. When you look a little out of period, they give you a hard time. So because I looked too much like a pirate the way I was dressed. And I said, well, yeah, that's what I was going for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a hat that I tricorned.
Sweet.
In fact, the pirate get-up I've used in some videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's it right there. I had like the burgundy. I can't remember what it's called. I had my period shirt, and I had this burgundy thing that I wore over it. And then my tricorn hat. It's basically a straw hat.
So you were basically a press ganger, like you were a War Machine press ganger.
This was like 3 years before I discovered War Machine, and like a good year and a half before I discovered miniature wargaming.
Okay. But
the seeds were there.
You should revisit that and just say, hey, I'm a press ganger and I'm dressed as a press ganger. I think that would be awesome. But I think the Ren Fair crowd has they've kind of accepted, hey, these steampunk guys are here to stay, and period or not, they're a big draw to our fairs, and we need to be a little more accepting of them, because anime, like cosplay stuff, is ridiculous. It is just killing it, and and I think that's one of the reasons why Soda Pop is coming on so strong, is because it's like, oh my god, I can cosplay as one of the Super Dungeon Explorer heroes, or I can be a Relic Knights mini. And the cosplay crowd is all about that, and they love anime, Anima Tactics for the same reason. Oh, I can cosplay as an Anima Tactics mini. But with regards to Ren Fair, recently, the last Ren Fair I went to, I dressed up in a traditional Chinese bureaucrat costume, which was fantastic. And I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure how they were going to receive me at the Ren Fair because, like you were saying, the Ren Fair, a lot of times they're like, oh, we want things to be period, and and most of the
very Elizabethan.
Yes, the expected costume is Elizabethan, European influenced costuming, and I showed up in a traditional Chinese bureaucrat costume from the same era, which, by the way, would double fantastic for Heldorado cosplay. And I was very well received. It was great. A lot of the guys were like, "Wow, that's amazing. I'd love to see more Asian themed cosplay." And I didn't even realize this, but somebody told me that they call in Ren fairs, if you're Asian inspired or you're an Asian costume, they call you a celestial. I didn't realize that. That's a thing apparently.
Yeah, celestial used to be a racial slur against the Chinese.
Did it really? I don't care. I'm gonna rock it. It doesn't sound like a slur. I mean,
in fact, critics of the classic Doctor Who episodes, one of the first reoccurring villains was a celestial toy maker, and he wore a traditional Chinese costume.
Really?
Yeah.
So I could be Whovian as well. I'm down, dude.
It's of course it's like these are the early episodes made back in the '60s, in opposed to later episodes.
I still think it's awesome. I mean, it's obviously times change and whatever, but
yeah, no one knows what that means anymore. So
right.
It's like,
and there's no power to it. It's not like you can't go down the street. Like you could go down the street and say, "Hey," and point a finger at me and be like, "Hey, what's up, Celeste?" And I'd be like, "Okay."
Right? Huh? Well, if I called somebody a bukra, no one would get mad,
Yeah. I mean,
they would. You'd have to be some history professor. You'd be like, wait a minute, what did you just
Wait
say?
a minute, what?
Then it'd just be like, wow, you know about that. You know your vintage racial slurs.
You can be racist and educated at the same time.
They'd be like blown away, like, wow, people still say that? I don't know.
Oh man, where did this feed go?
Off the rails, Dice Race Live, no agenda. The influence credit.
Oh man.
But yeah, I had ideas. Particularly, there was this particular getup I was looking into. It was like a flat cap. Because I've got a few flat caps, because those are still being made, but the flat cap's been around for a couple 100 years, so it was like, okay, flat cap, goggles, vest, just an emphasis on looking sharp and not having like a bunch of bells and whistles, not having like a bunch.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
Going more minimalist with the approach, because. The time period that steampunks look at, people were broke, man.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't adorn themselves with jewelry as you're rich, But if you were just like some self-made man, inventor type, Nikola Tesla didn't have a bunch of widgets and stuff all over. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, so I'll give you my take on that too, because I feel the same way. I mean, I can just be completely brutally honest here. The steampunk conventions I go to, all the guys basically look the same to me. There's always, and like you said, it's a guy with he's got a top hat with goggles on the top hat. He's got a full beard. He's got a vest on with a rolled up shirt and just trinkets. He's just covered in head to toe with just brass and leather stuff, right? and none of it really makes sense. It's really busy, and that guy just kind of walks around and clanks and makes noises when he's walking. And I guess it's kind of cool. My only issue with it is like every dude looks the same in that steampunk getup. So I kind of follow the same mentality. You know, I want to keep stuff minimalist. So, you know, I go with you know, kind of I go with a little bit more ornate uh, vests and overcoats and that kind of stuff, and then I only accentuate like really tiny stuff like a little steampunk spider, a Cthulhu pin, but I don't do a whole lot of stuff. You know, my pocket watch is very nice, but you know, you'll never see it. It's just, and you do that, and it's more understated, and I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's sharper. You know, you keep nice clean lines, and I think it's nicer than the, you know, super busy guy.
Yeah.
I also made myself I made an Asian inspired steampunk costume, which is, you know, you don't see a lot of either. So what I did was I took a long coat, like a Mao style long coat. I guess the only reference I have is if you look at the Matrix, the second movies, the second and third movie, what Neo's wearing, he's wearing like a high collar. It's like that, but like traditional communist Mao gray, and it's got like the officers' board on it and some medals on it, and I make that look a little more steampunk, and that's fantastic. I think it's a great little costume that's different than what most people are used to seeing. So I don't know. This is a cool episode for talking about costumes, I guess. We're just on that tangent. And I'm still drinking sake, and I said I would stop. Ooh, congrats! 1,000 subs!
Yeah. 1,000 subs, definitely. Yeah, I didn't actually openly celebrate hitting my 1,000 subs. I think I did a little vlog about it. I'm not sure. Let me have a look. I'm gonna have a look.
Well,
here.
yeah. I mean, think about like back when you hit 1K. That was a huge deal, man. There was like nobody on YouTube at that time, man. That's why like people. I'll tell you something interesting. You were on my feed the other night, and some of the guys from the Cypher group were like, "Holy shit, is that Tin Man on your show?" And I'm like getting puffy. I'm like, "Yeah, that's right. We're pals. He's on my show." So props to you, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like, see here. I think it was May of 2011 when I hit that 1,000.
Wow.
So
Yeah, see, what was I doing in 2011? Oh, I had just started to learn Mallet. I don't think I had a channel until the end of 2011. Right? I think like December 2011. I might have had a channel, but...
So I don't even think I made a video of it. I think I just made a video where I was like...
Yeah, back in those days, if you had 1,000 subs, you were kind of a god. You know? There was not much... Because it was mini wargaming and...
Yeah, they used to call it the 1,000+ club, and then the 1,000+, what the 1,000+ club is now, is the 10,000+ club.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right, because it's like, but some of the guys are still making videos, but they're not. They stuck with their roots. Like Nataku, he's been around for a long time, and he had a lot of subs, and he was considered one of the bigger guys at the time. But he hasn't ever since he left GW. His subs really haven't exploded, but they're still good. And then you have Viv, another one of the guys, got a lot of subs. And Viv, let's just be honest here. Viv is just such a fucking cool guy that he can put on whatever he wants and people will watch it. Honestly, I'm like, wait a minute, what's he do? He's growing hops. Okay, I'm down for this. I want to watch this.
I'm still waiting for him to make that video where he stares in the camera and drinks beer. Because my plan was to make a response video of me staring into the camera and drinking something. Yeah.
You're the one where he's in it.
We just have this whole chain of videos of people responding, drinking and staring in the camera to drink something. Yeah.
Did you see the one where he was in his full plate mail costume, drinking beer, talking about Warhammer Fantasy? That was an awesome.
Don't remember that one.
That was an awesome vid. All right, you know what? I'm gonna have one more, and this is it. I'm cutting myself off because I got to get up, get on a cruise tomorrow. See, I had the couple.
Yeah, I didn't actually celebrate hitting my 1,000 because I believe it was either late 2010 or sometime in 2011 when I did hit that mark.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, unless it was a mention at the beginning of a video, like one of my battle reports, I may have mentioned it in the beginning. It went, woohoo, 1,000 subs. But around the time I started getting those jumps in subscribers,
mm-hmm.
is when Games Workshop had its debacle with Australia, with the distribution to Australia.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And there were some other things going on with price increases and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
literally during that month, because that was like June of 2011. And this was around the time I posted my. This is like shortly before I posted my How to Play War Machine video, the first of them.
Mm-hmm.
I got like over 100 subscribers that month, so it was the biggest bump I'd ever gotten.
Oh wow, okay.
But yeah, it's like I was making the Mark 1 videos back in the day. And then Mark II came out. We're making the Mark II videos, kind of going along at the same pace.
Mm-hmm.
And then just 2011, there was just this explosion of interest in War Machine, and that shot me to the top. And then 2012, you got this explosion of other shows kind of doing what I'm doing.
Sure.
So,
mm-hmm.
And then there's of course my attempt at making it on Blip that blew up in my face recently. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I think with you back here, I think you're gonna hit the 2K. You'll hit the 2K soon enough, and there's the thing about YouTube is like it seems like when you hit a certain amount of subs, then you start, then it just starts to snowball, which is a good thing, right? I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Just one thing you got to watch out for is the subscriber bug,
Mm-hmm.
where suddenly people are unsubscribed. Active YouTubers are suddenly unsubscribed from you, and they didn't notice. And then they got to resubscribe to you. That happens a lot. It's something that YouTube doesn't admit happens, but it happens a lot. You type in subscriber bug, you'll see a bunch of people vlogging about it, like, hey, what's going on here? What happened to my subscribers? Or, hey, I'll subscribe to all these channels, and then they unsubscribe me. I've had to resubscribe to Player's Handbook, to Bleep Up Productions. I've had to resubscribe to Film Cal, the people that do the Charlie the Unicorn videos.
Oh, Player's Handbook. Those were the guy. That was the guy that ran into me at Gen Con. That my earlier story. That guy. That was cool.
And that's on the watch out for. And also YouTube closing accounts, like inactive accounts or accounts that violate the community guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
If they're subscribed to you, suddenly out of the blue, it's like, hey, you lost 13 people due to accounts closing.
Sure.
That happened to me last week. So it's like I came back to YouTube. I noticed my subscriber rate jumping up again.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and it got to like 1777. And then it dropped to 1761. I was going, huh? Well, 13 accounts were closed out.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And I'm thinking, okay, well, I was at 1777, and now I'm at 1761. So they're up in YouTube. My stats page only told me I lost 13 subscribers. So I'm going, I'm not that good at math, but I know that the drop from... That's like a drop of 16, so there are like 3 others that aren't accounted for. That's the subscription bug right there.
Okay, well that's good. That's something to look for. Hmm. Wow, I can't believe we made it this long, but I'm actually I have to finish packing. I'm gonna
Yep.
see. I'll reload. Oh, well, let me finish this real quick. So,
See, Bakersfield's got a new game store.
oh, okay.
It's in the northern part of town, so but basically it's a comic book slash collectible store, and they're gonna have a back room for gaming. They just need to put an air conditioning back there so that people don't die trying to play games back there. And pretty much one of my friends had stopped by there and talked me up. I went down there and met him. I bust out my camera and showed him a bunch of pictures I took. Also gave him the link to my YouTube channel, and so I'm going to be their go-to guy for War Machine demos. So thinking maybe we can organize like a miniature demo day, miniature gaming demo day type deal, and I can do War Machine and maybe get you guys to come up here and show off some other games as well.
Yeah, you might. You might be able to get my brother up there, and I might be able to get up there depending on the date. So yeah, that sounds cool.
So that's definitely an option, and there's potentially 2 to 3 other game stores that may jump up here in Bakersfield. Hopefully, it won't be another 2008 situation. Back in 2008, literally several game stores opened at once here in Bakersfield, and then shortly thereafter went belly up because
Wow.
they kind of created a choke there amongst the player base.
Nice.
But
Yeah. Well, that's. Oh wait, what is going on? Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah. Well, that's. I think I've got to finish packing, and I'm gonna be on a boat. We'll try. I don't know. I might upload something from the boat, but we'll have to see. But yeah, I just want to thank you. Thanks for hopping on, Tin Man. I really appreciate it. And once again, thanks everybody for supporting this channel. Hope we're all having fun, and we're just gonna keep doing what we do here. So,
definitely get it. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna ask you, you have any final comments or anything before we sign off here?
Pretty much. Just like to join you on Tuesday if possible. You gotta do some painting on Tuesday. Got stuff to work on, and yeah, definitely. While you're on the boat, you gotta rock to the Lonely Islands. I'm on a boat.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I've got it on my phone, so we're good to go. I won't have a feed this Tuesday though, because I will be on the boat. So.
Right.
But I will definitely be back next Tuesday.
I'm like, did put 2 and 2 together. Oh, they're going on a cruise. Oh wait, they're gonna be on a boat.
Awesome.
Aren't the Wi-Fi prices killer though on those boats though?
They are murderous. They are murderous. Yeah. I would have to do a Kickstarter if we wanted to do a live stream from the boat. So.
or get a Patreon going on.
Yeah.
Patreon's like, you gotta offer them incentives and bonuses, and like, I can't just use this as a tip jar. Okay. Someone just needs to do tip jar.
Yes.
But no one's doing tip jar. If someone did tip jar, I could be like, I got a tip jar. You could buy me a beer, $3 will get me a beer somewhere. Put $3 in it. I don't care. Anyways.
Alrighty, folks. Well, everybody have a good night. Once again, thank you so much. Thanks for hopping on, Tin Man. And we will catch you on the next one.
All right. Catch you later, man.